Hey guys, Carlos Cortez with another episode of Scriptures and Wall Street. I hope you are doing well. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and go to rumble.com and like and subscribe our backup channel, Scriptures and Wall Street on Rumble. We'll love to have you there. I'm always posting content, talking about just random things, whether it's me singing on a guitar, or hanging out with the kids, or at the ice hockey practice, or we're talking about just in dates, new dates, and also some cool pictures of the truck and basically daily lifestyle living. If you want to keep up with the Cortezes, you're more than happy to like and subscribe our Scriptures and Wall Street channel. I wanted to talk about a few things here. The main thing is just the confusion in the markets. We got a lot of confusion going on. I'm gonna bring up some charts. Are we going up? Are we going down? Well, that's the problem when we're sideways. So we'll talk about that here shortly. But most importantly, if you are scared about what is going on and if you don't have a plan, then give us a call. If anything I say resonates with you today, then I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you. All you got to do is give us a call, 813-448-3446. You can visit us at cortezwm.com. You can go to americafirstretirementplan.com. Either way you go, you can't get hurt. I will send you this book. All you got to do is give us 10, 15 minutes of your time to make sure it's a right fit. Myself or one of my advisors will actually send this to you, no cost to you. I wrote this book about a year ago, why people's money isn't safe. Yes, they're not safe in your checking account. They're not safe in your 401k. We get that. You don't even own that money. You don't own your IRAs. You are a participant. So I kind of talk about that a little bit. Why people aren't getting consistent rates of return, while the financial world isn't transparent, and 4, investments are not being held in America, and we're funding economies like China or Ukraine or Israel, countries that actually go against what we believe in. More importantly, you don't even work with a fiduciary that believes in what you believe in. So it's important to have an advisor that actually believes in what you believe in. Like, imagine walking into your advisor's office, Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, and they got the LGBT, it's June, they got the LGBT flag. They're talking about DEI updates, all these things. And they're waiting with you because their kid is actually getting ready to be pulled from school so they can get the flu shot, all embraced with mRNA. Imagine you walking into that office and that person is helping you guide your retirement. They're funding Pfizer. They're funding all the things that are into your demise. This is real talk, by the way, guys. This is really happening. We had George Foreman just die suddenly recently, and he was bragging about the vaccine. Oh, I've been in a fight with Evander Holyfield and all these other big hitters, and I'm not afraid of nothing. And what actually happened? Well, we understand with the jab, there's different waves that it comes in. Like the immediate wave, people get it in a week later, 2 weeks, a month later, 30 days later, they get turbo cancer and they die. We've seen this. We've seen this story. Then there's a second wave. There's a second wave that happens that a year or two later, they pass. We've seen that wave. You saw all those athletes that pass away in 2022, 2023, somewhere around there, 1,000 athletes. It was so many premier collegiate young athletes that just passed away. Now, some say that, well, it was COVID, the aftermath of COVID. That's what the pro-vaccine people want you to believe. Then there's the longer wave. Some say, oh, I got jabbed up, and hopefully it was a placebo and it was a bad batch. It didn't really have all the crazy chemicals. It was messed up in a good way. And then now we're seeing, obviously, the third wave of the people that are dying 5 to 7 years later. And look, I never want to wish this on anybody. It's very sad. It's very sad as these people are dying like that. My heart goes out to the George Foreman family. I pray there's no more catastrophes. But we saw this coming, guys. Like, this is very tough. This is very tough to see, like, even your favorite celebrities. I mean, we all had the grill. Like, I had the grill in college. Like, I didn't know how to cook. I couldn't have a grill and I had the indoor grill. I remember after my soccer practices, I would rush to my refrigerator to get a nice seasoned chicken breast and just throw it on the George Foreman grill. I used to make quesadillas out of those things. So good. There's so much to talking about with the markets, but I just wanted, before I get started, now's the time not to panic. Now's the time to understand, hey, we're going into a recession. We're going into an environment that interest rates are trying to go down. Trump says they will go down, but as you guys know, the Fed is late to the game. Inflation is still off the hook. We knew it was going to be bad, even if Kamala got in and stole it again. But did they steal it for Trump? I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even care, because my faith is not in man. My faith is in the Lord Savior Jesus Christ, as you guys understand. And I'm sure yours is too. And that's why you're listening to Scriptures on Wall Street. But we have to understand that just because the stock market is going down, we don't need to buy gold or silver, or we don't need to buy Tesla. We don't need to buy copper, even though copper is skyrocketing. Remember, I told you that a year ago that copper would just take off, and it's doing that. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. And the major thing is that if you have investments, it's time to refinance your portfolio. What I mean by that is, are you taking advantage of lowering interest rates? Do you have investments like TMF? Do you have a safe money account where it's a bond alternative? The market tanks, the bond market goes up. Are you able to participate in the upswings, not just in the stock market, but in the bond market? Do you have any tactical management that could take advantage of it? And if so, how is that? Is your principal guaranteed? Does your advisor have the ability to have an account where they offer a principal guarantee? Most advisors can't even say the word guarantee because of the licenses. I had to get rid of one of them because the communistic FINRA wanted me to submit every single word I put in to my compliance officer that was vaccinated, worked for a woke broker-dealer, and they have to tell me what to do. And I have to give them 15% of all my revenues to tell me what to do. Like, this is reality. And unfortunately, many financial advisors are stuck in this trap. They have to say a certain way. God forbid they have a podcast and open up their mouth. That's a huge no-no. Why do you think Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, all these big companies, they don't have a podcast on Rumble? They don't have a podcast on even woke YouTube. Why? There's so much to talk about. And if it is, it's some garbage robot speaking about the markets in a general fashion, because they're not allowed to speak. They're not allowed to say their beliefs. They can't. So if they're not willing to forget the laws, forget the paycheck and people pleasing into your ethical situational advice, they're choosing their pocketbook over ethics, is what I'm getting at. Like, they do not want to be bold enough and stand for what they believe in. Well, what they believe in is the almighty dollar. That's what they believe in. They believe that their God is money. And if you don't have money, you don't have a God. Oh, and most Christians believe in their bank account rather than what God says in his word, rather what he says in Malachi 3, rather what he says in Isaiah, I will never leave you. I would never forsake you. Do not be dismayed. Or rather than the 360 or 350 times it says, do not fear. Rather than, you could kill me, you can kill my flesh, but you cannot kill my soul. These are words that are written in the great holy book of God, the Holy Bible, his living scriptures. How hard is it not to believe what God has told us? Straight up. It is a mindset. You know, I'm in this day trading school. And if you're interested, if you got 25 grand and you want to learn how to day trade, I got a buddy that will mentor you. I'm not here to promote him, but email me, info@cortezwm.com. Maybe mom and dad will pay for that course. But if you want to learn the markets, I highly recommend this. Then then honestly, if you're young, why not skip college and actually learn a real trade, and a trade that will last you forever, more than a 4-year stupid degree that you're going to pay 100 grand for and make $40,000 a year. It's a scam. College is a scam. Unless you're trying to be a doctor or attorney, I get it, and you need those licenses. But majority of the people, it's a freaking scam. I would rather you learn a trade, like go to vocation school and start a business in that vocation. Learn it from somebody. Ask a small business owner, hey, can I learn everything about being an electrician? Can I learn everything about drywall? Can I learn everything about construction or radiology or dentist or anything? And then learn it and you start a business and you start your own American dream. I'm talking to you young people. That's how you make it. If you get a job, you're going to be working for 40, 50 years, and you're going to be investing in a stupid 401k that you don't own, that the government dictates when you have to retire. And when you say you want to retire, you actually don't even own your 401k during this whole process. And when you do take it out and you do make it to 59 and a half, the government takes 50% of your whole portfolio through taxation. Right now, I think it's going to be 50%. Right now, currently it's 39% if you are in the highest marginal tax bracket. So we don't even know what the taxation is going to be when you retire. And if you're younger than 40, sayonara, Social Security, you're not going to have that ish, brother. You're not going to have it. You better start putting money away right now so that you can get 20, 30, even 40 years of compounding in a green money account that you could retire with millions. Not hundreds of thousands, millions. If you're 20, 30 years old, give us a call. I am willing to help the younger generation. Mom and dad could give you 20, 30 grand, put it away, let it sit for 30 years. You will be blown away what the projections say right now. The NASDAQ is basically giving you 18% a year historically over the 45 years. You put it in a safe money account with no fees and no risk. By the time you're 55, you have millions. It's not my words. It's the calculations. It's the projections. It's the historicals. Past performance is not indicative of future results. We get that. But you have to put money away because this government is not in your favor. Israel is not in your favor. China is not in your favor. The BRICS are not in your favor. Your local state is not in your favor. No one's in your favor except for you. You have to be the steward. You have to take the responsibility. You have to get off the couch. No one has grown from the comfort zone of the couch. Growth, it requires pain. Growth requires work. When you build muscle, you are breaking down the muscle to gain it back stronger. When you go to school, you are building a habit. You are building an education that you'll be wise to learn a trade, to learn your job. When you work on your marriage, you go through hard things so you can get stronger. When you work on anything, your financials, you have to forego going to the restaurants, shopping in the malls, delaying your gratification, seeing everybody have nice things except for you, so that one day you could say, this too shall pass. And one day you will have prosperity because you were disciplined. All of this is because of discipline and preparation. You know, I had the opportunity to go to my buddy John Wood's house, his ranch in Woke, California. Believe it or not, I was in California. Disgusting. But man, is that state gorgeous with the weather. We were on the top of the mountain in Mountain Center. And shout out to John. Amazing, amazing man of God. He taught us how to fight. He taught us what to do when you're held in gunpoint. Are you willing to kill somebody? What is the spiritual ramifications on that? What does God's word say about that? Do you know that in Luke, it says, do not be shameful. Do not have any guilt. If a thief comes in your home, let there be bloodshed. It's freaking biblical. It's biblical to be a priesthood in your crib. It's biblical. Do not let this woke, wussy ass churches that are out right now, gummy bear churches, tell you that your masculinity is toxic. They're freaking toxic. You should be proud to be strong. You should be proud to be a man of faith. It is biblical to protect your home. And we have to stay prepared, gentlemen. Our spouses are looking to us to protect, to provide. We are built that way. And this gummy bear church, this gummy bear culture has watered down the masculinity of America, has watered down the masculinity of your children. And that's what Satan wants. He wants to attack the home. He wants to attack the marriage. He wants to attack the masculinity. Because if he gets to the man, he's gotten to generations. Generations. This is why you see men getting quote unquote pregnant. You see these stupid books. My daddy has a baby in his belly. They want to destroy the man. So I'm actually in talks with the administration right now to talk about Rise Up Kings and how we want to be. Our mission is to bring masculinity and support a godly administration, support the masculinity in the church, in the homes. And what that requires is bringing God back to everything, to the core, to your family, to your business, to your finances, to your faith, to your fitness, to Wall Street. And it's upsetting. It's upsetting to see these 18-year-olds. They don't know what they want to do because mommy and daddy never smacked them up, never spanked them, never disciplined them. They took away their tablets and said, Johnny, you're not going to do anything. A kid doesn't learn that way, guys. I'm sorry, Miss Therapist, if you're listening to this. I understand, but these little boys need to grow up tough. They need to grow up tough because they're our last hope. There is no more masculinity, especially if they're God-fearing youth. They need to understand that these people want to devour, destroy any Christian moving forward. They want to take the Bible, rip the pages off and wipe their asses with it and laugh at it. They want to take our religion away. And the Word of God says that. You know, I get emotional because you guys know I grew up in North Carolina. I knew soldiers that died for our freedom. We don't even have the Pledge of Allegiance anymore. You know why the Pledge of Allegiance is so beautiful to me? It's because freedom isn't free. Somebody died for your freedom. Jesus Christ died for your freedom. Jesus Christ was whipped. He was urinated on. He was speared. He was weird with spike whips and still was savage enough to carry a 500-pound, 1,000-pound cross full of oak up Calvary to get whipped again, to get spat on again, to get laughed and mocked on, for them to put 9-inch nails through his wrists and his feet and smash his head with an evil set of crown of thorns that are 3-4 inches long, piercing through his cranium. And the Joker wasn't even dead yet. Homie wasn't even dead yet because he's not even human. He was the Son of God. He was ultra power. Of course he was human, but he was an ultra power, a supernatural power. And he could have said, F you Romans, F you Jews. He could have said all that. But instead, everybody talks about his grace. Oh, Jesus loves you. Jesus this, Jesus that, Jesus. But they forget how strong he was. He was a man of strength, a man of grace. That's the most beautiful thing of masculinity, is to show grace and strength at the same time. It is the most attractive thing. And you can't argue about it. So he went up on top of this hill. They beat him up. They practically daggone killed him, crucified him. They tried. And this is why the Word of God says, you can try to kill me. You can kill me. You're not going to kill my soul. And so when he died, there is this ultimate And we don't even show allegiance anymore in our schools. One nation under God, individual, with liberty and justice for all. We don't even say those words. But yet we want to talk about how amazing America is and how much problems we have. When it says in Leviticus, turn from our wicked ways and he will heal our land. We forgot the simple words. We worried about the almighty dollars, the stock market going to go up or down. Meanwhile, we're looking freedom in the face and taking advantage of it. Because our kids don't even know what it is. Our kids don't even know what it is to work. Our kids don't even know what it is to get punched in the mouth. We're becoming weak, man. It's making me sick. We're getting weak in our faith. We're getting weak physically. We're getting weak emotionally. We're offended every single word we say. Even people on this podcast say, Carlos, why are you wearing a t-shirt? How come you don't wear a tie? I had one idiot person call my office and saying, you know, you really shouldn't be on Stu Peters because he says hatred words about the Jews and you should be off. Hey, dummy, if you would listen to my show, we actually love and we don't hate. Now, that doesn't mean I can't make fun of you, but I never once said that I hate the Jews or the Jews are the most evil people in the world. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. The reason why I said about Calvary and Jesus going on Calvary, because he sacrificed himself for you to breathe. He sacrificed himself. He could have said, screw you, Romans, screw you, Jews. But he said, Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. Where's the hatred in that? If anyone could hate any ethnicity, it would be him. He hates evil. So do I. He hates the sin. So do I. That doesn't mean we're evil people or we need to be off the network. No, it doesn't. He led by example. So when I was actually in this camp, we learned how to fight from gunpoint. We learned what to do if somebody has a gun in our face. We learned some great moves. We learned what an OODA loop was. You know, you have 0.3 seconds to do something before someone shoots at you, gunpoint. If you see a gun and they haven't killed you yet, it's because they don't want to kill you. They want something. Then they might kill you. So you have something to do there. You basically could say anything you want. I really believe that we need to sharpen our skills. I really believe that you need to get out there off the comfort zone and learn something that will protect your family, that will protect you. Has nothing to do with financials. Like I'm in trading school every single morning, guys. Like my brain is like fried by 10, 11 o'clock because we're talking about all these patterns, all these momentum shifts with 12 different markets. So I get the opportunity to talk about the markets and talk about God. And sometimes I just want to break out and do something not financial, like go wash a car, go change a tire, go play hockey. I'm not sorry if I don't wear a tie or a elegant shirt. That's not me anymore, guys. It's not me. I don't need to impress or wear fancy suits anymore or be presentable. I'm here to give content. I'm here to give a message, and I'm here to promote the cross. So with that being said, I need to get to the markets. So I want to show you before I get to the markets, I'm really big into the fitness, right? I want to make sure that you guys have the opportunity to get you some, getmeleanusa.com. I've lost, 65 pounds and counting. I was 275 and I'm 218, 220 around there. Here's a picture of me before and after. These are American-made products. They're peptides. They're natural-based peptides. They're not those Ozempics and the Mounjaros of the world. They're not going to hurt you. They're not going to eat your muscle. They're going to help you lose weight. And more importantly, the Fit product is actually going to help you build muscle and restore your muscle so that you can maintain it and have it. It is 4 times more effective than creatine. I'm still working on my flab. I'm still working on my body, but I was in bad shape before. So we need to continue to work on our fitness, guys. So I'll have my buddy Josiah come on here and talk about fitness, but there is no wealth if your fitness is not in order, guys. There is no wealth. And it's time to get your butt in the gear. And thanks, Eugene, for saying that. Your words, not mine. I love your heart, brother, by the way. Shout out to my Get Me Lean supporter. I can't say if he's a client or not. But Gene, thank you. Great conversation. And yeah, just so many testimonials of people buying this stuff. So everything that I recommend, I've tried and true. And this is how this is how you're able to support our show. These networks are ultra expensive, guys. I'm not going to lie, but I do it because I care about the message. I do it because I financially can. I've said for 4 years now, I will fund my own production just so I can get this message out, just so I could be an olive branch to someone that has only choices to do business with a woke company. I don't want you to have to go through that. I'm willing to take money out of my own pocket to get my message out, to write a book, to do the right thing, to let you know, hey, there is somebody that thinks like you, that that believes in what you believe in, that is a fiduciary, that actually gives a darn about your retirement, that actually gives a darn about people living a prosperous life in the eyes of God and in the eyes of your family. So that is me. That's what I want to do. That is my calling, is to be a blessing to you, to give you an olive branch, to give you an alternative rather than investing in the disgusting Wall Street that is out there. Look, they're there to they're there to literally take money from you. And I'm going to show you right now in the charts, like how this works. So let me pull up my charts here. I have a few things I want to share, which is pretty interesting. So I like TNA. For those of you that are trying to make quick money, TNA might be a great opportunity. But right now, TNA is 3 times the Russell 2000. So if we go to, all right, let me double check here. Yep, that is so weird. TNA, I don't know why there's a white border there. TNA is the small caps. So if you're taking notes, TNA is 3 times the Russell 2000. Now, one thing, when there is a market correction, this will be one of the first ones to go down. And obviously, we did have a little bit of dip early in March, but it now is starting to bounce back. And we could see further decline. So I'm not saying buy this. I'm saying just be on the lookout for it, because the volatility index is going back up. It was 17 yesterday. Now it's going to 18. It could go to 20. When it's 20, then typically the market's going down. When the volatility is around 13, 14, that means the markets are going up. So TNA is going to be ETF I'm going to be looking at. For those of you that are fans of the QQQ, like how I am, right now we had a death cross forming earlier in March. March 5th, March 6th, I got a signal saying that the markets were going to go down, but they started rebounding here, as you see. And we had some green bars pop up. And so when markets actually go down, they never, ever go straight down. They go down, they form these patterns. They hit the 200-day moving average, they bounce back up, and then they come back down typically. But we're seeing a lot of momentum coming down. So that's one flows and ebbs of the market. But this is one true tell that, hey, we're going to get a little bounce back, possibly even higher. But overall, the momentum is going down. That is the Qs. So if you like the Qs and if you like more volatility, this is ×2. Now the Nasdaq is obviously the QQQ. It follows the Nasdaq 100. But if you want more volatility, then you can go to TQQQ, which is leveraged. It's ×2. So if QQQs are down 10%, this is going to be down 20%. If they're up 10%, this is going to be up 20%. So be very careful when you're investing in this money. Of course, this is not investment advice. Trading does require risk, and you better be daggone comfortable with it. So we got a death cross here. We had a head fake here. This is a little head fake. We're coming back up. I think we're going to come back down even further to continue this correction territory. We are below this 200-day moving average. That's where the death cross forming is here. And looks like we're headed down, guys. Like we have the red bars, we have a death cross. Momentum looks like it's going down. Of course, I could be wrong. Let's pan over to some other popular ideas. We get a lot of deals, right? So a lot of opportunities. Everybody talks about Tesla. Let's check out Tesla real quick. Again, Tesla is going to be highly correlated to the technology sector, right? Also, Bitcoin is considered tech. You have Amazon, you have Nvidia, Microsoft, uh, just a lot of technological correlations out there. So death cross right here forming. We hit the 200-day moving average. Of course, there's some momentum. We did get a bounce back. Now Tesla is going to be a little more volatile, I would say, because I believe it'll hit that 200-day moving average and come back up. But the question is, what is the bottom? Could we see more of a downward spiral here? I think we're going to come back up, and then we'll see a downward spiral. So, in my opinion, again, I could be wrong. I see this coming up. We'll hit this 200-day moving average and possibly come back down even lower, maybe to the $200 range. I don't know. Some people think I'm crazy, but hey, it could happen. But yeah, we're just kind of waiting and seeing. I want to see how this develops here. This little retracement. I want to see how this is developing, because if I could see where this is headed at here, then I can get a better gauge on where we think this might go. So it could go. Let me get my little trend line here. It could go up here and then I come back down, but our indicators are a little slower for a reason, because we don't want to make any mistakes. But there is earnings coming out in May. So if the earnings do come back out, then we have a huge chance for it to be real bad. We have a huge chance for this just to come back all way back down here. I'm talking about way back down if those numbers do show up pretty bad. So panning over to Tesla, I would wait if you're looking at Tesla. Again, not investment advice. Just be very careful on the volatility of Tesla. For those of you that like Tesla and you want times to the risk, just like TQQ, well, now you have TSLL. You can go to TSLL and you legit could buy 2 times Tesla, the leverage. So here's TSLL, guys. Like, we have the death cross. It hits the 200-day moving average, and that's what I'm saying. It comes all the way back down. It just so much momentum coming and rushing down, and then we have this pop up, the spike up. A lot of buyers are buying here because they're like, oh man, Tesla's going low, and this is TSLL, so this is twice Tesla. So this is actually a good spot to be buying, because we're seeing a lot of people go ahead and buy, and that's what this is. This is a small guy buying something, but what happens is, in the naked eye, this looks really, really good. But mind you, if we go back, this bad boy was daggone near 615 earlier last year. So we could hit this low of $6 again on this. We're at 9. Yeah, we're pretty low right now at 9. So I'm waiting for this to come back down a little bit. And once it hits that $7 range, I'm buying this sucker. This would be a great trade, because what happens is once it gets lower, you get a bunch of people that rush into it, that want to create new buying opportunities, just like Bitcoin, like any other tech cycle. Once it hits all-time low, there's so many people that buy it. They get out of the treasuries and they get in, and then they get smacked because there's another new lower. But yeah, we are here in a deadly chop zone, a deadly free fall on Tesla. And if you like this, then TSLL might be the spot for you. All my indicators say that we're still bullish, but what I'm seeing, guys, is that the momentum is just, the sell-off pressure is huge on it, and we do have earnings coming next month on this bad boy. So I'd be very careful of purchasing this right now at this level. If you're looking at Tesla or TSLL, if you want time twos of risk, let me go to my baby, my old faithful that I'm not giving up on. This is the lowering of interest rates, TMF. Interest rates, are they getting lower? Every time they drop, this will go up. You haven't gotten a good drop, so it did get pop back up. In other words, if there is no drop, then this will continue to go down. I'm hoping it gets down to 40. That would be amazing because I'm still going to buy it here. I bought it at 48. I bought it at 45 and I bought it at 40. Again, not investment advice. I would love to buy it at 40 is what I'm saying. Not investment advice. I'm just saying that you got to be extremely patient on this one. When rates go down, this will go up. And the possibility of this hitting 100 is a very, very, very likely. If I show you the historicals on this, again, past performance is not indicative of future results. And this is not investment advice, by the way. But yeah, if you look at these charts, man, like they are just smoking. It literally is off the map. Literally. We had this at 400 back when interest rates were skyrocketing. 457. Look at this bad boy. Just I'm not giving up on it, guys. Like we had a death cross here because interest rates rose back in 2022. They skyrocketed. The price of this went down. We had a possible golden cross here. Didn't go up much. Another golden cross here. Didn't go up much. Another death cross. And then it went sending down. Back to a golden cross. Went up a little bit. Another death cross went down. And I'm just panning over. Right now, we're kind of like in that consolidation sideways pattern. But eventually, when interest rates do get lowered, the price of those bonds will go up. Again, this is 3 times TLT, which is the 20-year treasury. This is a risky trade, guys. You don't put your retirement in this. This is only for money that you can and afford and willing to lose. Speaking of willing to lose, those of you that are Bitcoin fans, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So this is the Bitcoin. All right. So Bitcoin, I'm going to see if I can get a trade in actually before this podcast is over. Bitcoin again, I said this was going to go down to 62. Could I be wrong? Well, here's the chart, guys. Look at this puppy. The all-time closest low was around 61. I think we'll hit 62 because if you look at this big old cycle. And this is a huge support level. This is the previous support is around that 61, 62 level. So if we get a death cross, right here's that 200-day moving average. It's going to bounce back up. A lot of people are, oh man, this thing is going down. It's a great price at 85, and it pops back up. GameStop bought like $1.3 billion in Bitcoin. You'll see a little market rally, but overall, the natural cycle of Bitcoin is that we will have a 40 to 60% drawdown. Yeah, like if you look at Bitcoin, look how much it goes up, but look how much it definitely goes down. It was from 30 to 26, all-time high back in 29 to 25. I mean, look at this drawdown. 45 all the way down to 16. Woo. All right, we'll keep on going. I'll show you more. 64 to 37. Look at this one. 55 to 31. Back in 2021. Huge drawdowns, by the way. 9,000 all the way down to 6,000. That was a good 30% drawdown. 10,000 all the way up to, well, that wasn't terrible. That was a good 30%. To 7,800, 27% there. This was a massive, massive cliff. 6,000. I remember when this was at 6,000 and it dropped down to 3,300. It scared a lot of people. It just fell off. Like, oh, Bitcoin's a scam. This was back in 2018. Bitcoin's a scam. It's idiotic. Look at this drawdown. Oof, 17, 8, 86. Well over 50% there, guys. I'm telling you, man, like Bitcoin, that's what it does since its origin. It just has these cycles. So do not get in the hype. Like it will go down. It will go down, but eventually it'll come back up, and you just got to be prepared. You got to be prepared for these market cycles. So we get the call, should I buy Bitcoin? Well, yeah, I think long term you should. I think long term it'll be over $1 million. It's going to go over these cycles. You just got to get used to this cycle. And this is not for retirement. If you're young, 20, 30 years old, invest $100 a week, a month for 10, 20 years, and you'll have millions of dollars when you retire. But if you're older and you're trying to make money off Bitcoin, it's not worth it. You missed the boat. You should have got in when it was like 10,000 a coin, and now it's worth 100. It's too late, man. Like, you can't put retirement funds in this. It's not suitable for retirement. This is only speculation. And it's going down. I believe it will go down to 62. I mean, I'm in several trading groups. I have a mentorship that I do, and they all say 61, 62 target. It's going to blow through the 70s when it does. So get prepared. Get prepared. Again, I could be wrong. This is not investment advice. I could have a goose egg right on my forehead. And there she goes. So that's Bitcoin. Let's see here. What else we got? Let's talk about the S&P. Everybody knows what the S&P is all about. Okay. Again, this looks familiar, guys. This looks like the Russell 2000. This looks like the TNA that we just saw. We got a death cross coming. It happened. And then we're just kind of waiting on this consolidation. I think, guys, the market's going to go down another 10, 20%. The death cross here, we had a bear market rally. In my opinion, I think we're going to see more and more downward pressure. I think the volatility index would go up. Speaking again, the VIX, let's check out the VIX, because the VIX is a true tell of what is true to come. We got a green dot here, and that's because we had a spike. We had a spike this past week. It went up. We had a blue cross, boom, went up. Then it came back down and once it started going down, that volatility index starts to creep back up to 20. We were at 25 just a few days ago. Some weird times, man. We are in some volatile times. And with this inflation war, I know Trump was talking about putting 25% on automakers. Like, there's a lot of confusion out there. So keep in mind, we have the VIX SPXL, which is 3 times the S&P 500. All right, so this is another baby of mine. SPXL. I like this one. I think it's going to go down even more. Now, if you want to make money off the stock market crash, you don't have to buy gold. You can buy SPXS. It's 3 times the S&P 500 inverse. So when the S&P 500 goes bad, you can buy this, and the market does well. This ETF does well when the market goes down 3 times. So if the market goes up, you're going to lose 3 times that value. If it goes down, if it crashes, you're going to make 3 times that value. So SPXS, pretty amazing right now. It's low at 653. Just like any stock, you always want to buy low and sell what? Sell higher. So we hit this all-time low at $5.65. This makes money when the market goes down. Now, if we do have a huge correction, this is going to go all the way up. I'm talking about all the way up, guys. All the way up. So look at this bad boy. It was, I don't even know how high it was because it wasn't out too long. This was at $28 at one point, maybe even higher. Holy smokes. Let's look at this thing. When was this? Oh, this was during COVID. So as high as COVID, it was over 220. Oh my gosh. 320. Dang, I haven't even looked at all this. Holy smokes, guys. This is 2013. Let me crunch this in. So this makes money when the stock market crashes. So this was over 10,846. Yeah, man, like this is serious. This is real serious, guys. So I'm going to be keeping a big lookout on SPXS, because the fact that this was in the thousands, really, then we have a huge opportunity to, let me just go ahead and reset this. We have a huge opportunity to get in very, very low if you're looking to bring some risk on, some healthy risk. And also, if you have a portfolio, if you have 401ks, if you have money in IRAs or anything that no one's really looking at it, you could buy this at your own brokerage. Again, not investment advice here, but just an idea for education and information purposes only, obviously. You could buy this. You could buy SPXS and literally hedge your whole account. Even if you put 10% away in this, and if it goes up to 20, 30, you literally made everything that you lost on the other side of your money. So it's a great hedge, great insurance for the market manipulations, for what is about to come. I think the markets are going to go down. I have plenty of evidence and bias to support that evidence and bias. Um, so yeah, I got a golden cross. I got a blue box forming. My pattern is turning green. It could come back down, but this risky investment could be an amazing investment should the markets go down. We have a problem with inflation that's not going to get fixed anytime soon. We have issues with interest rates. We have issues with banks. Speaking of banks, let's go to KRE real quick. And here we are. We have a pink box. We hit the 200-day moving average. This is a regional bankings. This is so the banks aren't looking good right now anymore. If you remember back in 2023, it went from 60 all the way to 38. If there is a financial crisis of any sort, this will be the first ETF. This will be the first sector that will just plummet. I'm talking about going down to 20, 25, somewhere around there. This thing will plummet. And it has before. So just keep a lookout on KRE. I like looking at it. It's a great temperature. Also UYG, which is a pro shares for the financials. I used to trade this when I was a kid. So we got a death cross on UIG forming. Obviously there was a market rally, but this is going to be interesting, guys. Like if we do have a financial situation happening in the markets, I'm going to be looking at that as well. All right, so we got Tesla, TMF, and I just wanted to say, like, this is some serious stuff, man, that could happen. But all in all, invest accordingly. Everything on this podcast is for information and purposes only. As you guys know, you can avoid all this. All you got to do is give us a call, and we want to help you index your account. You can get access to all of these gains on the QQQs with a safe money account, a green money account, greenmoneysolutions.com. You can go there right now. Guys, the NASDAQ is going to average, don't even take my word for it. Let's see what the internet is saying right now. So yeah, don't even take my word for it, guys. Like this is the QQQ index. And I want to say something very important here for those of you that are not hearing me. I could actually get you the QQQ index. Depending on your state, there's two ways you can buy the QQQ index. You can get a bonus. Some want to sign up to get a bonus, 15%, depending on your state. I don't know. You just have to give us a call, 813-448-3446. But no fees, no risk to your principal. As long as you're okay having access to 10% a year, we can get you a 15% bonus, have access to close to 75, 80%, depending on your state and the rates. And if the interest rates haven't lowered, we can get you 75%, 80%, depending on your state, like I said, of the QQQ index. So thinking about it, you have 15% bonus. 100 grand goes in, $115,000 day one in your account. No fees, no risk, no death penalty, none of that. 100% principal protection. You are getting literally 80% of this index that is averaging how much now? Well, let me show you what the historicals, not my words, but let me show you exactly what the historicals are on the NASDAQ. So just do an internet search, type in average historical performance of a NASDAQ. Last year, 21%. Last 5 years, 21%. Last 10 years, 18%. Over the last, I mean, this is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. 443% in 10 years. Guys, what this means is that we're going to get 80% of this crazy NASDAQ index. No fees, no risk to you. Or if you want, do not get a bonus. If you don't need a bonus, don't take the bonus, because depending on your state, I have a carrier, A-rated carrier, America First, in America. When you call them, you're not going to get Patel from Malaysia saying, "Oh, my name is Peter." You are getting literally 120% of this index. So that means if it does 10%, you're going to get 12%. Locked in, principal protected. That money is yours. It will compound and compound and compound. So we are talking millions. We are talking millions, guys. And if you don't even know the power of compound, all you got to do is just get a compound interest calculator. Look one up. It's not that hard. And I'll do it right now in front of you so you could see how powerful this is. I'm going to stop my screen. I'm going to show you what a compound calculator looks like. And you can just Google it, DuckDuckGo, investor.gov. And I'm not doing anything special. Let's just say you had $100,000 and you contributed nothing. And you had, let's use me for an example. You have 23 years till retirement. Estimated interest rate. Well, we're going to go back and figure out what the heck it was. What was it? 18.4, right? 18.4. Of course, that's not guaranteed. Let's just lowball it and say, you know what? 17.4. Interest rate variance. Let's just say the NASDAQ only did. Let's just do a 10% variance, a 10% swing. Actually, let's do 15%. And there's no compound frequency. Yes. So in 23 years with $100,000, if I never touched it and just let it grow off the NASDAQ, and I'm not doing anything shiesty here, I'm actually lowering the interest rate. The interest rate is 18.14. But even at 17.4, we have $3.8 million in 23 years. Possibly, maybe $60 million if this thing does better than 17. Well, what if I go to 18.4, like what it has done the past 10 years with AI kicking off? Look at this puppy. You will have an average of 4.62, as high as 72 million versus as low as 4.6. I know that's a huge target, but the variance is, you have to take in consideration the variance. So worst case scenario, you probably have $4.6 million. Guys, this is amazing. This is how powerful having a no fee account that your interest is locked in, guaranteed, and insured. And we can get this working for you. You don't have to panic. You no longer have to panic and have these accounts just go to wayside. You no longer have to be 60, 65 years old and wondering when you can retire because another 08. Don't do that to yourself, man. Like the people that think about taking a cruise, you had a retirement party. You said, hey guys, we're going to go on a cruise. We're going to celebrate. You invite all your families, and you worked for 30, 40 years and you had $1 million in your retirement. And you take this cruise May 26th of 2008. And in May of 2008. And May 26th happens. And you're on a 30-day cruise. And the stock market collapses. And collapses. It got halted 3 times in 2008. And you come back June. And there was no way you can get on a phone. 2008, there was not good cell phone, or there was no good telephonic services on cruise ships back then. And you came back and you lost half of your retirement. Those people had to go back to work. They had to find another job. They lost half their 401ks, their IRAs. Don't let that be, you guys. You no longer have to suffer that because we have safe money solutions. We have green money accounts. You can protect your principal. You can insure your account that is anti-CBDC, that has principal protection, that is with an insurance company and not a stock brokerage account, that you're not even into the securities law, you're into insurance contract law. You have so much advantage right now where you no longer have to risk your principal. And that's why this is so important, guys. So important. All you got to do is give us a call, 813-448-3446. It's getting late. I know it's a midweek show, but I just wanted to emphasize how important it is to get compounding interest working for you in a safe money account. Contact us, 813-448-3446, or visit us at CortezWM.com. I got to get going. God bless you guys. And if you haven't asked for your name in the book of life, make sure your prayer is all prayed up. And we are all sinners, and we need the blood to cleanse us daily. So God bless you, and we will see you this weekend. All right, have a great one.